As a young boy, I seen things that I didn't quite understand. But as I became a man, they became quite clearer. I used to hear the things that my father would say to my mother and wonder how he could say those things in the same breath, say that he loved her. I watched as our God-given queen is demoralized to the mean, but words sent to destroy the very fiber of her self-esteem. Now her face may miss the flight of your fist, but your words are a direct hit, landing squarely on her integrity and weakening the very fiberhood of her womanhood. How could this be? I watched as she digs in and takes a stand while fighting back the tears that threaten to spill across her face until they release. And encased in each tear is every time you called her a bitch and told her she wasn't shit, or you said she wasn't a woman because she couldn't conceive and she believed it. Or you called her a hoe and they fell, a tramp and they fell, a trick and they fail. Now they run down her face like freed slaves till they fall from the only earth they ever knew. And now the tears are streaming and physically standing tall, but his spirit is huddled, screaming. I'd rather feel his fist than the sting of another word. Yet you continue to belittle her. Our women are not hoes, tramps, tricks, sluts, whores, or bitches. Now she's statuesque in the physical because she got her emotions raging. She feels like she has no other recourse, so she resorts to violence and she hits you. Now you a man's man, so you ain't standing for that. You figure she put herself in a man's place, so you reach back and release with all your hate. Take that for even challenging me. Take that for having more than you can stand. And how dare she fight for her right to be by your side as your God-given queen. So you continue to demean her. I seen her spirits crumble to the floor in a ball, wishing she would just die. But no, she stands there, tall in the physical, but mentally and spiritually she's huddled on the floor, far beneath than God intended her to be. And she is wounded, and she is broken, and she is defeated. And I reach out my hand to her and watches her soul melted away, flickering like a candle caught in the summer breeze, as the essence and willpower diminishes until it fades away to a smoldering glow, as she absorbs his verbal lacerations, blow after blow, until finally she lets go. And her essence is flying in the wind, and I can see her will to fight leaving as her fingers begin to slip, and her grip and her integrity begins to loosen until it too is lost, buried somewhere deep within her eternal abyss. And she feels like all she has left, traces of who she used to be, sporadically found within her empty frame that used to be so full of life. But slowly, ever so slowly, that change, she accepts her role when her clothes become tighter and money becomes her motive, and she refers to herself as a bitch. And that all started not from your fist, but from your words that hit. But what you don't understand is this. See, it's part of her subconsciousness. See, it's easy for her to be that trick, that tramp, that bitch, that slut, that hoe. After all, she is. Remember, you told her so. And when she finally flips the script, the first thing you'll say is, see, I told you that bitch wasn't shit. And when I think that it can't get no worse than this, then so begins the metamorphosis. She begins to morph into the trick you caught in front of your kids because the male made her laugh and you ain't made her smile in years. Or that trick because she's able to finagle some cash when all your traps missed. Now if we're going to use the word, then who here sounds like a bitch? Our women are not hoes, tramps, tricks, sluts, whores, or bitches. And I won't stand for any longer, but when a man checks a boy, he begins to explain away, dog, I'm not saying she's a bitch, she just got some bitch-like ways. Negro, please. God made man his own image, and God gave man dominion throughout the land, but man was lonely, so God gave him woman. Since woman came from him, she is part of him. But remember, God gave man dominion to label everything. To label everything. The connection is biblical, and you wonder why your words cut so deep. The Bible says the power of life and death in the tongue, so don't act surprised when women commit suicide. They feel that they never measure up in your eyes, and I challenge you to stand and be a man instead of thrown together like Voltron, a modern-day Decepticon, selling women these lies and wonder why they transform like Optimus Prime, and it hurts, and it makes real men cry. Because when it's under the effects of these words and verbal genocide, I'm telling you now, that's why I pray for the heart of these fellas to get a new addition and change these boys to men, because only then will they understand that she is a queen, flesh of your flesh and bone of your bone. And when you disrespect her, you're disrespecting yourself. And when you hurt her, you're only hurting yourself. Our women are not hoes, tramps, chicks, sluts, whores, and they're definitely not